I still can't believe that no one ever told me how good Mirror's Edge is. Well, except for this one person a couple weeks back, but before then, nothing. Nada. I was just living my life without the experience of having played the most stylish game ever made. I also can't believe that Mirror's Edge is from 2008. Well, except for the cutscenes, that part makes sense. This would have been my dream game as a kid if I knew it existed, but hey, I found it now, and aren't we still just kids that have grown up a little? So what got me to this point where I'm making a video about this gem was actually kicked off by playing Dying Light 2 a few months ago. Immediately after, I decided to start Mirror's Edge, and while I enjoyed both games, they each do different things for the parkour genre. If I had to pick one, it would without a doubt be this gem. You see, the beauty of Mirror's Edge comes from its simplicity. Levels are super linear, aside from some crazy speedrunning routes that people have found, and it allows for some pretty cool set pieces to play out. This means the game's designers were able to fine-tune and tweak the experience of playing through each area, carefully controlling pacing and flow. Not so much in Dying Light 2. Giant city, open world, run in any direction you want. Also a lot easier to run into a dead end and break that flow. If you've been on the internet too much recently, as I have, you've probably seen the yellow paint discourse floating around, that modern games rely too much on overly obvious clues like brightly colored objects and yellow paint to guide the player rather than having the level design speak for itself. Funny enough, this phenomenon is present all throughout Dying Light 2 as well as Mirror's Edge, but in a parkour game it does kind of make sense. You're moving fast, and it needs to be clear where you can and can't climb at a glance. Like everything in Mirror's Edge though, this is done super stylishly. All the levels are brightly colored, so having certain objects be fire truck red isn't out of place at all. Plus, each area, rooftops, tight hallways, office buildings, subways, all feel pretty fresh and exciting as you move through them, and each has its own color palette and lighting going on. As much praise as I've given this game, there is one thing about it that I might change if I could. That is the whole combat portion. I get that having enemies in some of these levels raises the stakes and make you feel like more of a badass for dodging bullets and disarming enemies. But I don't think Faith should be able to pick up a gun and start using it. It just doesn't feel right to me. I'd rather work the fighting into my parkour directly, but sometimes it's tough to pull that off depending on enemy placement and just way easier to steal someone's gun and take cover. Not sure what everyone else's thoughts are on this, but guns just seem like the easy way out for me. Just because you have the tools though doesn't mean you know how to use them. Right from the very start of the game, you have access to Faith's full parkour arsenal. No skill trees or upgrades to collect throughout your journey. So if you're already a pro, there's really nothing holding you back. And if you're an amateur, you might be a bit sluggish at first, just as I was. I'm by no means an expert now, but I can navigate my way around these rooftops pretty consistently, and I can't wait to watch more videos about the game and come back to revisit some of my favorite levels in the future. Before I let you go, you should know about this upcoming game if you like parkour even the tiniest bit. I have talked about rooftops and alleys before, and I think it could be just the game that Mirror's Edge fans are craving. It's apparently coming to early access next month in May, which is news to me, so I guess we'll all be able to play a lot sooner than expected. And what you can expect is complete control over your body and moves in either first or third person. Big tricks, big speed, like a beautiful mashup of Mirror's Edge and Tony Hawk. And with that, I'll leave you to it, I guess, whatever it may be.